The countdown begins to the opening of the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics. What's in store for the Games? We'll break it down for you.
From CGTN headquarters in Beijing, this is The Hub with Wang Guan.
Hi there, and a very warm welcome to The Hub. I'm Wang Guan in Beijing. In February 2022, Beijing will be the first city to have hosted both the Summer and the Winter Olympics, and they will have done so in just a little over a decade. China is a country known for outdoing itself, and this time it says it wants to stage the greenest Olympic Games ever. And what better place to be than right here at the site of the Winter Olympics. Hello guys. I'm obviously on the field trip in Zhangjiakou, that is a co-host for the 2022 Winter Olympics. And this is the site of the Winter Games. So this sport is called ski jumping. As some of you may know, the snow is not there yet, but it will be by the time of the Olympics, that is in 100 days from here. What's unique about this place is that this is zero carbon. I mean, everything, all the electricity is powered by green electricity, from heating, from snow making machines, everything. And the green electricity comes from rural areas that is about 100 to 200 kilometers from here, and from solar, from wind, from hydropower, and those electricity is stored and converted in power plants that we visited and sent over to this Olympic venue. So this will be, in theory and in practice, the first zero carbon Winter Olympics. Super exciting. I can't wait for the games to start. But who know me understand this is so dear to my heart. Super exciting. Wow, National Ski Jumping Center, the site of the Winter Olympics. Professor Pan, welcome.
Pleasure.
What's low carbon about this place?
No carbon is not an accurate description.
Okay.
It should be zero carbon.
In what ways?
In many ways. Number one, energy. Here, all the energy is purely zero carbon electricity. You see, lighting, heating, transport, it's everything. Well, in the northern part of China, heating is essential, in particular in winter. And in the past, even now, in northern China, heating is from the burning of coal, the burning of gas, natural gas. And all these are very carbon intensive. And now here, such a huge, structure, we use zero carbon electricity. That means that, in your room, in your house, in the buildings, in your offices, everywhere, zero carbon is not a problem.
Going green is a lot of work. For the first time in Olympic history, all 6 venues will be powered by renewables. And that will cut carbon dioxide emissions by 320,000 tons and cut the use of coal by 128,000 tons. Legacy venues from the 2008 Summer Games have been converted for the winter events. For example, the famous Water Cube, the swimming pool that hosted multiple new world records, will become the Ice Cube for curling events. A unique ice-making technology is used to cut harm to the ozone layer and lower energy use of refrigeration systems. That saves power by more than 30%. And over 85% of all vehicles serving the Beijing Olympics will be clean energy vehicles, another record. That's right, we've been talking about the Beijing Winter Olympics and its many green features. Let's listen to Liu Xinping, Director of Sustainability with the Beijing 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics Organizing Committee's General Planning Department.
简单的来说啊，我们这届冬奥会呢，其实
There were many new measures and initiatives included in the bid to hold the Green Winter Olympics. We innovated our working mechanism and established a new standard in preparing for the Winter Olympics. This Beijing standard will provide a good model for the future work of the International Olympic Committee. We insisted on low carbon. Our priority was to protect the mountains and waters of the environment, which was underlined in our general policy. In fact, this green policy was integrated into the planning, design, and construction of the winter sports venues. During the construction of the Olympic Village, we worked to protect 127 plants in the area. We relocated plants near the venue or to other places that were similar to their previous habitats so that they could continue to grow. So far, we've transplanted more than 24,000 plants in about 300 acres.
比如说，如果这个赛道上有一棵需要保护的植物，他们可能会把赛道。
We also set strict green standards in construction, and each venue has those low-carbon initiatives in place. For example, in the construction of the new speed skating stadium, different parts were designed in different ways to reduce the use of building materials and resources. Through these green initiatives, we've also managed to drive the development of environmentally friendly technologies and models in the region. Because of these new ideas, great progress has been made in the Shougang, Yanqing, and Zhangjiakou areas, such as the completion of the Beijing-Zhangjiakou high-speed railway, the improvement of the local air quality, and the building of environmentally friendly watersheds.
And on the upcoming Beijing Winter Olympics, we have CGTN anchor and veteran sports journalist Wang. And also we have with us news anchor and social media influencer Abdulaziz Salam. They're two colleagues I respect and look up to. So before I get to them, watch this.
Hello， 大家好，我是来自金字塔神秘法老之国埃及的王木林。我们来到了全国最大的塑化馆，就是国家塑化馆，它是专门为北京冬奥2022年建的。今天我们来看看今天到底有什么。走。哇塞，好大呀！
Sitting beside me, I don't have to do too much introduction. Everybody knows about this world-class sprinter, Justin Gatlin here. Yao Ming, great to have you with us. At this stage, everybody is really anxiously waiting for the big day. Why Wuhan at the very last minute?
Yeah, it's. I don't remember the last time I accepted a wild card into a tournament.
Great to have you back to Shanghai. Really have to say, welcome back.
Many thanks.
希望你成功。谢谢。
You know what, Wang Dong? I don't want to use the word envy too much, but right now I'm so envious of you.
Thank you, thank you. I honestly forgot all these video clips already. Where did you get them? Or give me some, really.
My
I need to have
wonderful
them back.
producer sitting out there made this all happen.
Well, tell him or her that he did a good job. This person definitely did a good job.
Love you guys. So let's get to it. The Winter Olympics of Beijing. Beijing will be the first city in a little over a decade to host two Olympic events. You guys have both been to the test run events and also the stadiums, venues themselves. What did you love the most about the Beijing preparation so far? Let me start with you, Wang Dong.
Well, that's a big question, really. In general, I guess, I haven't been to the outskirts yet. However, I will be there next month. In a nutshell, within the city itself, I'm terribly impressed with the 5 venues, namely all these recyclable venues, like the ice cube right now has become a water cube from ice cube rather, and also the Capital Indoor Stadium, which has been revolutionarily changed after a beautiful, beautiful facelift, if you will. And not to mention newly constructed and completed venue, that is Ice Ribbon, otherwise known as the National Indoor Speed Skating Stadium. Fantastic. And more than that is really they're using all these recyclable and also green Olympics concepts to make things happen. And I will let you know about some of the jargon, if you will, or terms. For example, one term.
Bring them on.
Okay, bring them on. That is one called transcritical carbon dioxide direct cooling refrigeration technology. Ready for that? My God, that's really something
What is even that in Chinese?
unearthly to me. However, it means that actually you can directly make ice or make the water drop dramatically to cool the ice, to make ice happen or to become reality. In other words, it cuts the time for the ice making process. Not only that, it cuts the level of carbon dioxide emission, which is totally suitable for the concept of Green Olympics. I am terribly impressed with this event, with these new technologies, and more than that, these are being applied to all these venues in Beijing, really making things easier for a lot of people, staff members. When you talk to them, they will say, my God, the ice making process has become so easy and so simple now, direct, cutting the time length completely.
Yeah.
So in 3 months, we'll have the games themselves.
Just let me say, like, I got a lot of very impressive points actually while I was just checking the stadiums and actually the Olympic village as well. They do have like 3 Olympic village in which maybe in Taizicheng they have one, in Zhangjiakou they have one as well, and in Yanqing they have another one. And then I got very impressed actually. It was very impressive to me actually the details which Chinese people are caring about. Every detail in the speed skating center, for example, like the heating system. Like you can imagine, like you will be there for watching a full, maybe for the full play would be for 2 hours or 3 hours, maybe more.
You might feel cold already, right? Especially with your feet.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you.
So the place and every single chair, you have this like heating system. So you will keep warm.
It's for the spectators.
Well,
yeah,
exactly. Well, I'm not quite sure about every single seat, and maybe every other seat really, with this kind of a outlet of a heater right there to help you heat up your warm body basically, and in order to make you feel comfortable right there, especially when we are inside the Ice Ribbon Stadium. That is fantastic. From each row, you will see this kind of outlets right there. The heating system is so essential, especially when you watch these people, watch the skaters, world-class skaters rather, skating right there. You might forget about your own temperature, body temperature.
Yes.
You'll be so involved in it.
Yes.
However, you will get cold.
Forgot,
But in this way, the ice surface temperature could be around, minus or a little bit
because
above
it's indoors,
0.
it would be,
However, in the audience seats, actually, you will feel pretty warm, around the 15 degrees Celsius. That is warm enough for you.
Yeah, and the same actually for the walls inside. They told us like all the walls are like just not only you cannot hear the sound outside, but it is like you cannot hear the echo from the other side of the playground. So from the stadium. So like if you are in the right side, you can hear very clear the sound in the right side, but you will not hear the sound in the left side.
Right, and also your focus is right there on the court or on the ice rink right there. You're not going to be bothered or distracted by other audience or fans.
There is no distraction. And let me say another very impressive point to me: the connection between the 3 zones. Like there is like such a very very good high speed trains running all the way between Taizicheng, Zhangjiakou, and Yanqing. And it would take like 30 minutes, let me say. Yeah. It's very quick, so there is no problem. Whatever you wear, like you can get to the other point in a very, very short time.
As we say, in a jiffy, you will get to one place or the other, right?
This
so
is
easily.
Right. And actually, Beijing is doing maybe it would be the first Winter Olympics, which is connected. All the cities are connected with high-speed trains. So this is so impressive to me.
I mean, all this sounds so attractive, but unfortunately, a lot of the spectators from overseas will not be able to attend the games themselves per regulation of the I would assume IOC and also mostly the Beijing Organizing Committee for the safety of the locals here. Let's talk about the games in the way of how green it's going to be. China is a country that is known for going for firsts. It's a country that is in love with superlatives. And this time it says it wants to stage the greenest Olympics ever. Wang Dong, how do you see this happening?
I think it's really great for the government itself and also for the people from all walks of life at different levels to do such a wonderful job. You know why? First of all, Beijing is the capital, and more than that, we need to actually keep the construction work in a limited fashion, not to disturb people. However, I mean the authorities and the organizing committee, in terms of this respect, are doing a fantastic job, keeping all these still usable and workable stadium in good shape and try to reform them and convert them into the Winter Olympics facilities to be able to be available. And more than that, of course, we have this state-of-the-art ice ribbon stadium available as well. By doing so, I'm just saying all these reusable stadiums are there, and you won't say that Bird's Nest is a waste at all, because it will be there for the opening ceremony and for the closing ceremony and so forth. And the Capital Indoor Stadium, which enjoys its history, rich history from the very beginning when Chairman Mao, Premier Zhou visited a lot of athletes up to this point, is still there, it stands there. The outlook is beautiful. However, inside, as I mentioned, they refurbished the stadium with a lot of state-of-the-art technologies and also facilities there, making it so beautifully looking. More than that, people are still it's so reminiscent of the past, of the Chinese rich history about sports industry, about Chinese sports development as well. That makes me feel totally at home.
Wow. I know you've been covering sports and the Chinese sports for decades. What a wonderful thing that you're converting the stadium from the 2008 Olympics to the Winter Olympic venues.
And actually, they told us like all the stadiums will be continually used after the Winter Olympics to maybe other local players.
Are you talking about the Zhangjiakou on all these?
Yeah, all of them, all the facilities. And this is very good because it will not be, it can be like recycled, like a lot of people can use it after that. And actually, some other point, which is, I cannot say I know very much about it, but I can just tell what they told me when I was there, like all the raw material they used in the building and this process was all green, let me say, and less carbon. So that would be very this kind of like China is trying to make history in the green. Maybe we can say in doing a very, very clean games, which is maybe a lot of countries would not be very care about that or caring about this to be green or not in such a very, very short time to do the preparations. So China doing this in a very short time with the Chinese speed, which is very impressive to foreigners. And as well, they are trying to make it the greenest Olympics. Yeah.
We're just a few months away from the Beijing Winter Olympics. Wang Dong, you've been to quite a number of test events. What were they like? How ready is Beijing?
I guess the slogan from the staff members, especially from the volunteers, are so ready in the sense to say, we are ready, we are available, we are, we say, if you talk to the staff members on any flight, they will say, willing, able, and capable, or ready to do so. And that's exactly the phrase I would like to use for these volunteers and all the staff members and personnel as well. I'll give you an example. When you go to the dry rehearsal, shall we say dry run or drills there, like the other day, go into the Capital Indoor Stadium, for example, the security, my God, is really tight. I mean, you might think that you are a journalist based in China, you work with CGTN, you have your correct credential, and
you're Wang Dong.
Well, you could just zip through easily, right? Not so at all. Yeah, they might know you, they might have seen your programs one way or the other. They will say, sir, get ready and take out your wallet and this and that. It's even stricter than this procedure going through when you are boarding a plane. Wow. And now I have no complaint about it. However, of course, it is time consuming. It is, I know it's necessary. And they mean business because they know that this is dry run, as I mentioned. This is going to happen, say, correction, less than 3 months, less than 4 months rather, in just about 100 days. This is going to happen in reality, and people will go through this process, and people will actually, go through the tightest security, and these personnel, these security guards or volunteers are ready. They are really there. They mean business. So it is really serious. And talking about going there to drink water, or for example, to really talk to your colleagues there, to maybe just have a snack there, during your working hours, they will come to you to say, sir, try to keep a distance right there. Don't be too close, and wear your N95 masks. That's for sure. So you can tell that everything is there. They mean business. They mean everything is real, and they take it very seriously because they want to be so ready, so up to the battle when the occasion really arrives.
Talking about winter sports themselves, China is not precisely known for excelling in winter sports. How do you see this Winter Olympics being staged in Beijing and Zhangjiakou, China? How can they really inspire grassroots participation, not just elite sports, not just gold medals, so on and so forth?
This is going so fast as well as the preparations of China to the Winter Olympics. Like, it begins with a lot of maybe China's trying to make more and more people, more Chinese people know about the Winter Olympics and the Winter Games. What kind of, like, it's not only skating, you have a lot of kind of sports. So maybe, yeah, at the past, not a lot of Chinese people know about the the snowing or skating or this kind of sports. But right now, there is a lot of more and more people going to know about that. So China is making, like, step by step, like preparing for the Olympic Games, and then the people will be knowing more and more about this kind of sports, which is very well, like, you are trying to upgrade the knowledge at the same time for preparation for the Winter Olympic Games.
Wang, the global narrative has often been that China is, quote unquote, a gold medal machine. How do you see the relationship between elite sports and grassroots sports in the context of this Winter Olympics?
I think, to have the home court advantage, of course, China would like to, as a host nation, to do well, to shine and rise to the occasion, to win some gold medals. Nothing wrong about it, really, especially when we have some good athletes like Eileen Gu, we have, Wu Dajin, we have some other beautiful athletes from the curling team and so forth, and we have a shot right
Malone
there.
As well.
Well,
because Malone had a game with an Egyptian guy.
Really?
For the ping pong, yeah. And it was like, we were like watching, come on.
So definitely we have a shot to do well, even better than before any previous Olympics. That's one thing, as you said, for the elite sports and elite athletes there. For the grassroots level, I believe, as my friend right here said, because of the knowledge, because of the fact that we are raising the awareness of people's knowledge about winter sports, and to have 300 million people on ice or to skate, to ski or whatever, it's not something like a dream. It is happening right now. And thanks to the modern technology and thanks to high-speed trains and also the transportation availability right now. And Southern people can come to the north to enjoy northern sports or skiing and many other Nordic sports as well. And the other way around, many northerners will go to south to teach Chinese southerners to actually learn about these sports, to appreciate the sport. And also we know more about Nordic sports, we know more about winter sports. So we're getting there. And by doing so, the grassroots level definitely are growing. And people at a young age, like my daughter, who is a teen. She knows about how to actually be a beautiful skier. She would like to give it a try about skiing as well. So that's a typical example. This is happening in China.
So finally, one sentence or two about your expectations for the Beijing Winter Olympics, starting with you, Zesso.
I would say, like, it will give the whole world a lot of surprises. Like, we got already surprised on the 2008. Actually, it was a very big reason for me to start learning Chinese, like how impressive China was in 2008. So I would say, I think, like, the Olympic Games would be more and more impressive to me, and it will bring more and more surprises to the board. Yeah.
Well, my 2 cents are as follows. The only city in the world which will host actually 2 Olympics, namely Winter and Summer Games. I think Beijing is ready to deliver. However, the sustainability is a challenge down the line, and I think Beijing has realized this point. Even after the Beijing Winter Olympics, they would like to make sure the people's passion and love for winter sports will sustain and persist. And I'm sure this is going to happen.
Yeah, hopefully the Winter Olympic spirit will stay and persist. Thank you very much, Wang Dong and Mu-Lin. Thank you both for coming to our studio today. You've been watching The Hub. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I've always enjoyed seeing people's first reaction to things because it's so spontaneous, and spontaneity is fun. Now, a group of foreign friends have been shown a stunning time-lapse video of the construction of Beijing Winter Olympic venues, and watch their reaction.
Wow, I'd love to go and see the streets getting.
Oh, you see, they have the first shape. This is something I really like in China. They think about all the details.
哇，这个感让我有点厉害。 哇，这个改叫我有点厉害，想不到以前奥运用的游泳馆，现在会变成冰火场里。会到时候我在北京也会看到这个化学的大场菜吗？
Oh, that's cool. Oh, it's gonna be curling there. Nice. Canadians gonna be happy.
I can't believe we're actually going to go and see all of these. It's so cool.
感觉是变魔术。
Oh, you see the green energy I was talking about.
That is built on an entire mountain. Oh, the big ski ramp. Oh my god, it is absolutely massive. Wow. Wow.
And that will do it for this edition of The Hub. If you have any comments or suggestions about today's pick or our show, feel free to contact me on social media. We'd love to hear from you. Send us your social media content too, because we might just pick them next time around. Thank you for watching. I'm Wang Guan in Beijing. Our news coverage continues at CGTN. Bye for now.